Well, hello and welcome. We are here on February 1st, 2022 to answer your questions, to introduce you to, if you don't know already, about the MMI Mindful Training Company and the trainer certification that Laurel and I have developed. And gosh, we've taught at this point 8 teams of trainers, and I've taught myself almost 400 meditation and mindfulness teachers around the world. I'm glad you're here, whatever category you fit into, whether you're just simply curious, interested, or a returning trainer who wants to share or find out more. But before we get started with I'd have to say sort of the left brain info, let's go to the right brain. Let's go to the mindful moment and be here now. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it simply means taking a minute or two to bring your full attention into this moment right here, right now. So I'm going to guide you into it. If it's safe for you to close your eyes, if it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, do so, or you can simply gaze softly toward the ground in front of you. A mindful moment is essential for sort of reclaiming your attention. And so the way we do that is by simply tuning in to the sounds around you. Mindfulness requires a gentle attention, one that welcomes everything and resists nothing. So welcoming the sounds you hear. Near and far. And welcoming the sensations you feel. Perhaps the air on your skin or the way the breath moves in and out of your nose. What it feels like to simply sit right here, right now. Taking some mindful breaths now. Noticing the sensations of the inhale as you breathe naturally through the nose. And then the exhale as you exhale naturally through your nose. Taking a few mindful breaths, bringing the attention right here, right now, where your breath is. And then let's set an intention for our time together, where we're present, attentive, curious, and hopefully your questions will be answered and you get the information you're here for. Once you feel like you've arrived, you can slowly begin to open your eyes or lift your eyes and see all the beauties on the call with us here. So glad you joined us today. My name is Sarah McLean, and as I said before, I've trained a number of meditation and mindfulness teachers over the years. I've been training teachers since 1993 in various settings, including monasteries and at the Chopra Center. I've been training for the McLean Meditation Institute for many years and for the MMI Mindful Training Company for the last, I'd have to say, 3 or 4 years. And I've written a few books on meditation, and I guide meditations pretty regularly. And I know many of you have been to some of the meditations I offer online. We're actually in the middle right now of a series of meditations for 40 days, which is free to attend. And I'll be leading a meditation in the morning at feastforthesoul.org, and I'll put that in the chat. And Laurel has been leading meditations for many years as well. I'd love for you to introduce yourself, Laurel.
Oh, thank you, Sarah, and welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for sharing this very precious time with us, and thank you for your presence here today, right here, right now. So I'm Dr. Laurel Geise, and my background is 30 years in Fortune 500 organizations. I've also been teaching mindfulness and meditation for 25 years. And it's actually 10 years ago, I actually left corporate America, and I started bringing mindfulness at work into organizations. So I developed a program, a training program, and I taught for several years. And then I had the opportunity to get together with Sarah in Sedona. There was 2016. And I told her what I was doing and that I was teaching mindfulness at work. And we talked about her community. She's trained almost 400 trainers around the world. And we talked about what good synergy it could be, because within this community, everyone is embodying that mindfulness and embodying meditation. And it's a community of lifelong learners, right? We're all lifelong learners. And so this could be another tool for that tool set, another skill set that we have, another way that we could share mindfulness in the world. So Sarah said, you know what? I think we should offer this to my students. And so we spent a year taking the material that I had, augmenting it with materials that Sarah had, and put it together. And we started, this is our 5th year, actually. This is team 9. Oh my gosh, it's 2022. This is going to be our 5th year of training. We teach 2 teams a year, and we are getting ready to start team 9 on February the 9th. And I told Sarah yesterday, I said, I think there's something very synchronicity about that, right? There's a team 9 starts on February 9th. I was like, oh my goodness. So so that's my background. I am so thrilled to be a part of this organization, MMI Mindful Training Company. I actually met Sarah 26 years ago now at the Chopra Center, and Sarah actually gave me my mantra when I learned how to meditate. Wow. And so that's why she holds such a special place in my heart, because we all know what that's like to receive our mantra, right? And our paths crossed, over time. But this last time in 2016, it was like, yes, now it is time for us to bring, our skill sets together and offer this. And I think what I would love to do, Sarah, is I would love to take just a moment and allow everyone to introduce themselves. How would you feel about that, everyone? Would that be good? I'm not sure if everyone knows everyone else, so maybe it will create that safe space that we like to create. And so what I would like you to share is one of my favorites. So if you just share your name and where you live, and our very favorite, if you knew me well. And so I'll give you an example. So if you knew me well, okay, I'll start. So my name's Laurel, and I live in St. Petersburg, Florida. And if you knew me well, you would know that I have flown over 3 million miles on American Airlines. There we go.
Well, for those, I would love to just say hello, because Yvonne just joined us and we're just catching up and introducing ourselves. My name's Sarah McLean, and we are in our 5th year now of the MMI Mindful Training Company. And as I had mentioned before, I've been teaching meditation since 1993 in various settings, first starting with my personal practice in 1989, and then moving into Deepak Chopra's center and teaching his meditation practices, Laurel being one of my students years ago, and then ultimately teaching a lot of teachers. But what I noticed over the years, as much as we tried, meditation wasn't really catching on in the world in corporations. Let's just say there was a little bit of pushback. There's a lot of misconceptions around it. So it wasn't really until, 5 years ago, when I was starting to be approached by Fortune 500 companies to help their employees, their management teams be more mindful, be better listeners, be more productive, and even access more creativity and innovation. And so I know that the many, many teachers I had trained in the past, as well as people that Laurel was working with to develop corporate training, we really hadn't gotten it exactly turnkey and right. Everybody was doing their very best. But when Laurel and I got together and we started to look at these case studies, the current research, the current interest in why people are coming for mindfulness, and really changing the languaging to make it really palatable for organizations everywhere. So that when the Humane Society Board of Directors came to me, I had a really cool program to bring to them. When a manufacturer at Berkshire Hathaway's company came to me, I had a great program for them, one that I was really sure would help them based on my experience, based on feedback from previous clients, and as well as the case studies that we've been looking at. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. And if you knew me well, I'm sitting here in Santa Barbara, California. If you knew me well, I spent 17 years in Sedona wishing I was in California. So here I am, and I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. All right, so let's just go through some introductions. So your name and where you live, and if you knew me well. So I'm going to start with Kathy. So Kathy, if you could unmute yourself. Yeah.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Kathy Featherstone, and I live in Sedona, Arizona.
Beautiful.
And if you knew me well, you would know I just love to connect with people.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you.
And my husband's an 8 million mile guy on American.
Oh, I love it.
I'm just saying.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing, Kathy. All right, and let's see. Marianella.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
So if you knew me well, let me start off. I'm actually, if you knew me well, you know that I'm Manila. Marianella, only my aunt and my mother, when I misbehave, would call me that. So I'm part of Sarah's meditation certification group. I'm group 8 and in Sedona. I was actually in Sedona over the weekend. So hi, Kathy. Sorry I didn't stop in for coffee. You know, I was just drawn to this, and I believe in the power of 9. I was born on a 9. My daughter was also born on a 9, and anybody who's important to me in my life was born on a 9. My daughter has a 9 tattooed on, and when I saw that this class was beginning on February 9th, I just thought I had to listen in, so I'm here.
I love that, and it's Team 9.
Yeah.
It's Team 9. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm here. And
I'm
like
so glad.
I kind of lost track of when I started meditating. I knew it was sometime in the early 90s. When Sarah was giving you your mantra, she was probably correcting my husband's work as a physician when he was going through the Chopra Center. Yeah, Sarah has been connected in one way or another to all of us.
That's lovely. Thank you so much. We're so glad you're here. Thank you. And let's see, how about Claire? Hi, Claire. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm Claire. I'm in Southern California in Valencia. So I'm sitting outdoors in the sun. And if you knew me well, you'd know I'd love the sun and I love all things nature. So yeah, I'm just enjoying this, taking it all in right here in my backyard.
Oh, well,
Thanks,
thank you.
Claire.
Thanks for being here, and thank you for sharing the lovely weather with us. It looks beautiful. All right, so let's check in with Holly. Hi, Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly, and I'm from Michigan. And Manila, I loved your story because I saw the number 22 9 times, and that's why I am proud to say I am a recent graduate, part of class 30 of the McLean Meditation Institute.
Oh.
So I trusted it because the classes started. We had our classes each 22nd of each month. And if you knew me well, you'd know that I have a strong creative side, and I love hand lettering, and I want to get back into my hand lettering again so I can make myself a book of quotes that I can take with me when I'm leading meditations and let it open and trust that where it opens is the quote I should share for the day. But it also indulges my creative side.
Beautiful. Thank you, Holly. So good to see you. Welcome.
That sounds amazing.
I
Yes.
love that too. I might be stealing that one. That's great. What to do with my quotes. Perfect.
All right. Let's see. So Yvonne, I don't know if you can unmute yourself, but we'd love you to.
can.
Hi.
Hi. I'm sorry, first of all, that I'm late. And part of that was trying to get my computer video to work. So, I'm on Zoom all day long and other stuff. So I know what I'm doing with it, but it just doesn't work. It's not working today. But anyway, you'll see me again in the future.
Okay.
My name is Yvonne, and and I'm from the greater Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah. Yay. Go Browns. Yeah. My family's from Cleveland.
Mine too. And if you knew me well, you would know that I've been back here. I've moved 27 times over my lifetime. And 4 of those times was back to Cleveland. So this is a back to Cleveland. But I was in Michigan and Illinois and Maryland and other places to live for kind of long-term things. And I've enjoyed that. But one of the things that's kind of exciting about today, I'm looking at all the sunny backyards and, people being in the sun today. And I was too. We have about 10 days of sunshine, and today was one of in addition to the 14 plus inches of snow we're expecting in the next 2 days. Yeah. So
Well,
that's my story.
Well, thank you so much for being with us and thinking of you in the snow. I know my family lives there and they've been sending pictures of the snow. So thank you. All right. Welcome, welcome. And let's see. And KC's with us. Hi, KC. How are you doing?
I'm great. Hi, Laurel.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Hi, Sarah. Oh my
Hi,
gosh,
Casey.
I haven't seen you for so long. How
Hi.
are you?
I'm great. Are you in Hawaii right now?
I am. Yes, I'm living on the big island of Hawaii. We're under contract to sell my condo in Phoenix. So where I've moved from, I'm a COVID refugee, living on the big island and having the time of my life. So if you knew me well, you would know that I was a competitive outrigger canoe racer from 2005 to 2010. And now I am again. And this winter, because we couldn't have team practices for a long time, I've been teaching myself, by myself, how to surf in my OC1 canoe all by myself during these crazy big waves that we've been having. And it's insane. I love it. So that's what I would share if you knew me well. So I'm going to pretend that you guys do know me well because now you know that. So
Oh my gosh, you are fearless. Fearless. I love it. We really have no waves here. They're very rare. I mean, they're just low. And I think surfers are just getting out just to get wet. They're not really surfing. And I'm still afraid to learn to surf out here. I think I'm going to take your lead though and try it.
I can't surf because my feet are bad. They're really bad. I like stand-up paddling is even very difficult for me, but sitting in a canoe works. And I've had an OC1. That means Hawaii 5-0, only it's for one person instead of 6. I've had a canoe for years now, but I've been always too afraid. Only the very dark-skinned Hawaiian people know how to do it. And finally, a couple of them gave me some tips and that's it. I'm in. Crazy. It's that fine line between bravery and stupidity, and I'm always trying to find it. Good to see you guys.
So good to see you too. Welcome. Thanks for being here. So thank you everyone for introducing yourselves. And we wanted to share about MMI Mindful Training Company. That's why we're coming together. So as I mentioned, our team 9 is starting on February the 9th. The training itself is an 11-week training, and it's every Wednesday evening from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern time. And we have a 3-day intensive that is April 22nd to April 24th. So it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we always have our spring team. We always try to have the intensive on Earth Day to honor Sarah and her love of the earth. And it's just a really great time to be together in that intensive environment. And for those of you who haven't attended an intensive, what is that? Well, it's 3 days that we spend together. We spend about 7-8 hours together going over all of the materials and giving you all of the information that you need for having your own business. So the first 2 days of the intensive are a review of the materials, and the third day is focused on, being that entrepreneur, being that solopreneur, and how do you make a business out of this if you don't already have one? And if you do have a business, how do you augment it? So MMI Mindful Training Company, we wanted to take some time and just, we wanted to start by showing you our website. So MMI Mindful Training Company, now we have 80 plus trainers from around the world. We have trainers in the United States, in Canada, Costa Rica, Ireland, Germany, Australia, and we're always looking to expand Estonia, to expand to other countries. We, as I said, this is our 5th year. So this website here is actually a resource for you, because when you become a certified trainer, we'll actually add you to this website. Now, what's interesting with MMI Mindful Training and how it has evolved, because it keeps evolving, it's evolved so much over the past 5 years, is that we began with training for organizations. And when we think about organizations, I would invite you to think beyond what you may think an organization is. As Sarah mentioned, training with Fortune 500s and also with nonprofits, but also think, healthcare, think first responders, government, schools, really anywhere where there's a group of people that have a common goal, that's an organization. And the training itself has been customized to be very secular. And the reason is, as Sarah had touched on earlier, it's that I think both of us, had been over the past 20 years bringing meditation into the workplace, but there was, some resistance to that. And I feel that, it kind of started, it was, about 10 years ago, you had the early adopters, you had Google and Aetna, who were actually starting to bring mindfulness into their organizations. And then about 5 years ago, you really started seeing organizations starting to adopt this. And today I feel that adoption rate is even quickening, because you're seeing a lot of the millennials and Gen Z workers. What you're seeing is they're actually requesting, they want mindfulness programs in the organization. They want those mindfulness rooms. They want that quiet time, and they're looking for that training. So the training for organizations, again, open your mind up to think bigger about what an organization can be. Then something we discovered during the pandemic. So what we discovered was that we could also teach what we call direct to consumer. So you don't have to teach an organization. You can actually put the invitation out to your community, to your friends, to many organizations within your city, and invite people to take the training. And in that training, we call it direct to consumer training, is where we have a group of people that come together from all different backgrounds to take the training. Now, when you enroll in our training and we start our weekly sessions, the first 3 weekly sessions are, we start with a getting to know you session, and then we move into the business case for mindfulness at work. So we give you that structure of, why is it important? What is the research? What are the business cases? And then the 3rd week is focused on entrepreneurship. And then the 4th week, we actually begin direct to consumer training. That was one thing that came up that our trainers had asked us to do. They wanted to see Sarah and I delivering the program. So what we started doing last year, and it was very successful, was that we started teaching the direct to consumer so that when you're in the program, you can actually see us delivering the training. You'll have a recording of us delivering the training. And then after the session, which is 75 minutes, then we spend 45 minutes to an hour together answering your questions and supporting you as different questions come up during that direct to consumer training. So really what's happened here is your ability to share MMI Mindful Training has literally doubled, because now we can share with organizations and we can share direct to consumer. And that's what we're here to talk about tonight, is the MMI Mindful Trainer certification, which is our third category. And then finally, our keynotes and presentations. So the materials that we give to you and that we train you on during our time together, you can use for keynotes and presentations within your community, at different groups, and also at conferences, to go out and really inspire others to want to learn about mindfulness and hire you to be their trainer.
And I can even say that another way that the training can be used is really one-on-one. People that are leaders who don't necessarily want to be lumped in with everybody else at work, who have the particular time availability, and then taking them through this. But the training itself, do you want me to go to that page so that we can?
Yeah, let's go there.
Trainer. I don't know if, can you see that now?
So yeah, so this is we wanted to show you this page, which is how you become a trainer. And basically all the information is on this page. So you'll see when you go to the website, it's the third tab, it says become a trainer. And if you scroll down, you're going to see there's a link there that you would actually click on so that you could apply. Isn't that correct? Right there. So yeah, it's right under the box. Yep. So you could apply to become a trainer. And what we also, so we talked about the training. So it's an 11-week training, and then a 3-day intensive, a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, where we get together. We do limit the size of the class. We want to make sure that each one of you does get that individual attention and support that you're looking for. You know, I feel that it's our job to make you an expert. That's our job. So in addition to the 8 modules that we'll be teaching you, we also have some books that we have you read to supplement that. So the core course itself, what we teach, is an 8-module course. We have a module on introduction to mindfulness at work. We have well-being and resilience, then creativity and innovation, then productivity and efficiency. And then we move into emotional intelligence, our compassion and empathy module. That's we actually developed that last year, and our diversity and inclusivity module, which we also developed last year. Again, we were feeling that need, right? We were feeling that we needed to share that within our world. And so we developed those new modules. And then the final module, the 8th one, is best practices for mindfulness at work. So throughout this training, you actually have the opportunity to teach over 30 different practices to your participants. And again, that can be in organizations, or it could be direct to consumer. So we, and then in addition, so we have for the training, so we have 8 modules. Every module actually has so a PDF document that gives to you all the information that you need to present the module. And there's way more information in there than you could ever teach in a 60 or 90-minute class. And that's really the beauty of this modular system, is that you can teach all 8 modules. You could teach it in 60 minutes. You could expand it to teach for 90. You could teach for 2 hours. You could actually take this and teach for several days, just depending upon the needs of the client. And I feel that's one of the strengths of our program, is that it's customizable. you have everything that you need. You have the actual PDF document of the module of the curriculum. You have the PowerPoint presentation, which actually Sarah, I think we were going to share that, right? To show you a PDF and a PowerPoint and all the information that you need to be able to, again, if a client would like 60 minutes, we can do it. If they like 90, we can do that too. Because I think one thing that we've learned over the last, well, at least 10 years and working with organizations is it's important to meet people where they are, right? That's why the information is very secular. So us as meditation teachers and mindfulness trainers, I wouldn't use like a Tibetan bowl if I was going in to work with an organization, right? Again, keeping it everything very secular and more focused on the work environment. And the reason we do that is because it's important to minimize the objections. I feel it's important to minimize objections. So when you're, meeting a new group of individuals that are learning about mindfulness, sometimes you'll find people that will object to it. But if the information is secular, and if you're using our approach, and our approach is this, we like to talk about business cases. So what are other organizations doing? Because everybody wants to know, well, what's everybody else doing? So we share that. Then we also have the scientific research, and then we have the practices. So it's a nice balance of here's what other people are doing, here's the scientific research, and now let's try a practice. And so you'll see that the program was deliberately architected that way, so that where it's the right side of the brain and then the left side of the brain and right and left, right, Sarah? And we go back and forth during the training, yes.
So did you want me to share a PowerPoint now just to give people a sense of that, or?
I think that would be terrific, yes.
Okay. So just bear with me.
Sure.
So our PowerPoints, this is our module 5, and I'm going to turn it into a slideshow for you. And you'll see, as we say, each module has, this is like a tip of an iceberg on how much you actually can teach. So these are just PowerPoints to remind you how to be mindful as we started our program today. And here we start every module with the objectives. And EI means emotional intelligence, of course. And then we review the takeaway practices that we had learned before. Whether it was the week before or the module before, because there are so many ways you can deliver this program, whether it's just one standalone module or over a weekend retreat for leaders, or maybe you do it once a month. And so we work with emotional intelligence defined. I want to show you this one view. Can you see this presenter view? Or let me see if I can share this with you.
So for each one of these slides, what we've done is we've taken the information from the actual curriculum document that you receive, and it's actually here in the slide. So that's how you know what the material is. Does that make sense to everybody? If that makes sense, could you put a yes in the chat? I want to make sure that you're following on this, because I think this is a really important point. This is another upgrade that we had to our training, was we had the slides, but then we found it was very helpful to actually have all of the information from the curriculum in the slide for you. Yes, okay, good. Okay, good. Very good, yes. So so you have all of the modules, and as Sarah said, they're each architected the same. We always start with the mindful moment, we go to the objectives, the takeaways, then we get into the content, and then you'll see we have practices, we have group shares, right? So that we're getting people to talk with other people in the training. Now with pre-COVID, we were teaching in person. During COVID, we've been teaching over Zoom. So I think everyone's become pretty comfortable with Zoom, and there's so much that you can do with it. And I have found that over Zoom, we can be just as effective as we can be in person. I think that there are ways with, with the if you knew me well and sharing our agreements and outcomes, and with all of the practices that we're doing and using the chat and the breakout rooms, that your students can really have a very full experience if you deliver the training over Zoom. Beautiful. There's our rain practice, very nice. So you'll see an inquiry, beautiful. So, and a group share. So we'll always have a practice, and then we'll have a group share to allow people to actually either share in person, share in a breakout room, or share in the chat. So beautiful.
All right. So that's just a little quick peek into that. But of course, as she said, the modules themselves that you would study, there are no quizzes, by the way, but
no
the modules, which is
No
unusual because
quizzes.
I'm the queen of quizzes. But
well, we took the quizzes. We took the quizzes out, and the first teams, they did have quizzes, but we ended up taking them out. And I think it, for us, it just felt like, you're already a mindfulness or meditation trainer. We know you have a daily practice. That's really important that you're embodying this, right? That's why we're so particular with who can enter into the program, because we want to make sure that you're living this. That's so very important in delivering this material. And in addition to the curriculum and these beautiful PowerPoints, and Sarah just shared our emotional intelligence PowerPoint with you. All of this is branded. So you'll see that the website matches all of the materials that you deliver. Also, then thinking about, so now I want to go out and I want to sell this, right? Because for our training, we offer the 8 modules, and we typically charge $6,000 to deliver those modules. Okay. So for a set amount of people, and there's a lot of different ways. Sometimes I know this has come up for Sarah a lot, where people will say, you know what, I just want one module. So if we're going to teach one module, it's $1,250, right? So the price point is higher, but within the marketplace, we're reasonably priced compared to a lot of the other companies out there. And the reason that we took that stance is because we're here to change the world, and we're here to make those ripples and to touch as many people as we possibly can. So that's very important to us. And with the branded materials, so you'll have the website. When you become a trainer, we put your picture on the website. And this was real important. We actually built this website after the second year of offering the program, because here's what happened. We had one of our trainers had the opportunity to work with a Fortune 500, and he was at the table with the training. And the reason that he didn't get hired was because they said, well, we think you're a guy that's sitting in Starbucks with your laptop. And so we're like, you know what? We need to show that we are a global presence, number one. So when someone wants to hire you, they can go to this website and they can see that you're on the website and that you're part of this much larger organization of trainers. Does that make sense to everyone? So it does give you instant credibility, which is very helpful when you're selling this program to an organization or even direct to consumer. We also have, in addition to this, you'll see in this community, we have a great support community. We have a Facebook community. And after the training, we also continue to support you. We have 3 post-intensive coaching calls. So we'll have a coaching call in May, and one in June, and one in July, specifically for this group that you're included in. And we include all of our trainers to come back to that, to those coaching calls, so we can help you, what's working for you, what's exciting, what are you excited about? Are there any hurdles? Are there things that we can help you with? And we have a very active Facebook community too, where people are posting new articles and new research studies. So There's a lot of support from this community. And we also encourage you to teach with others, like to find other people to teach with. That's always very fun to do. And when you have a moment, go to mmimindful.com and just take a look at all the trainers we have and where they are. Also, with the training page, we have you send us your picture and a short bio, and then also email. So people can send you an email and contact you directly to provide the training. Now, in addition to this, we also have all of the marketing materials. So we have flyers, we have takeaways, we have leave behinds, we have business card formats, we have the logos, we have all kinds of marketing material for you. We also, oh, there's Sarah, very nice, Sarah, thank you for sharing that. We also, oh, there's our beautiful 8 ways to be more mindful at work that everybody loves. They love to put that in their office. Oh, there's the beautiful business card. We can put your name on the business card there. And then we also have like a lot of the behind the scenes, the sales. So what's the sales process? We have a mindfulness at work business analysis that you can use to actually have a conversation with someone from an organization to understand the goals of the organization, to share with them the benefits of mindfulness, to understand what are they looking for in the program. And again, that helps you to customize the training to what they're looking for, so you can get the funding and be paid for delivering the training. And then we also have everything else, the sales process and also the contract. So, you know, we like to say it's a turnkey solution. By the time you've walked through the training, you've spent the time with us, you've read through the modules. As we said, we have some additional books for you to read. You come to the classes, go through the intensive. You know, at that point, that's when we know that you're an expert and you're ready to go out and start sharing the training. So see what happens. This is what happens, Sarah. See, I get so excited. I can't stop, and I'm going to have to stop talking.
You have to stop. Yeah, because I have a couple of, I want to respond to some of the questions here.
Okay.
So if you look at, this is the training for the direct to consumer, as Laurel was saying, we now do that because everybody's so Zoom fluent. And this is really, we are finding that people will send one of their workers from work, you know, somebody who might be in HR, who might be sort of already mindfulness friendly, and they want to bring a little bit more mindfulness culture into their world of work. So they might send somebody to this. So we used to go in only to one company and then, you know, as Laurel said, charge about $6,000 for 8 lessons. And now we're opening it up to the whole gamut of the population. And so somebody asked, well, what does it include? And so this next one starts March 2nd. So if you were to do the train the trainer program, you would then obviously audit this program. It wouldn't cost you anything in addition. And we have a little break after we teach it, after we go through the PowerPoints and teach and work with the public who are taking this program. And then we work with you, the trainer, to talk about the various exercises we may have used, the experiences, what may have come up, questions like that. So this is starting March 2nd. It's just an easy enrollment through Eventbrite. It's just easier for us to keep track of the payments and the cancellation fees and the emails going out to the people who enroll. And the price is $395. So if you register 21 days in advance, so that's within the next couple of weeks, you save $100. Now, we love it because we like to teach it, and we know our trainers in training want to learn it and see us teach it. And so we love that. And, you know, you can offer it anywhere, really and truly, whether it's to a group of people at the Women's Leadership Group, which I've taught a number of times, and I do one module at a time, or whether it's at an organization like an association, like the Attorney Association of Arizona. You know, they might want a module on productivity. So let's look at the different modules here once again. The introduction to mindfulness at work, why do it, who's it for, learning how to take better care of yourself with mindfulness. At this point in time, gosh, the workplace has to be a little more attractive to the workers, because at this point it is a very difficult hiring environment, and people are becoming a lot more concerned about their well-being for obvious reasons. So they're actually, I've been hearing from a lot of people who are in HR and in leadership that the potential employee is looking for a mindfulness room, a wellness area, and looking for ways in which the company is investing in their health. There's also a module on creativity and innovation, which I love. It's a lot different than, for those of you who've been through the teacher training program, that's a whole selection of practices you might not be aware of. Focus and efficiency, of course, who doesn't need that? And there are case studies that show the effect on the bottom line of an industry with focus and increased innovation. Then there's the empathy and compassion, which we find everybody needs a little more of, including trainers like us. And then we take that another step further, or the emotional intelligence, which then leads to empathy and compassion. It's one of the components of emotional intelligence. And then diversity and inclusivity, how to create a workplace where everyone feels like they belong and have a voice. And then, of course, we review everything with the best practices for work, and we get so excited when we see the 30 different practices people can do, and then how to help people make the commitment to keep the program going within their own workaday world. And then we do offer a bonus coaching session for people who have specific issues. It's optional, and we offer that for anyone who'd like to join us. So this is what it includes. The interactive sessions are about 75 minutes, but as Laurel said, you could teach one lesson for a day. You could have a 9-day retreat.
Yeah, this is a really great evolution of the program, I feel, because there are a lot of people that are curious about mindfulness. So this would be a really great tool to use for you to offer a direct-to-consumer training. And, we find that people in organizations will take this so that they can become educated on what is mindfulness and what is mindfulness at work. And then, they can, once they have the languaging around it, right, then they can start talking about it and bring in trainers to their organization. And now, if you were the one that were doing the training, well, obviously you would be the choice, right, to bring the training to their team members.
Yes.
I see another question here, and Casey asked a question. So thanks, Casey. I see here. So we answered the question about the pricing on direct to consumer. So $395, and then we have a $100 discount if they enroll early. Another question: have the modules changed since the training in April 2021? And the answer is yes, because Sarah and I always update the materials after every training. And in fact, Casey, we just, the addition for Team 8 was that we added a training guide. So we actually now have it's a 50-page training guide that you can give to your students in a PDF format that they can use. And it's just fabulous. Again, branded. It has places for them to write some of the exercises. It's terrific. Casey, thanks for bringing that up, because one of the things we believe in is that the information has to be updated, right? I mean, this is a changing, evolving field. And so we want to be, there it is, Sarah brought it up. There it is, the training guide. So it's important that you also stay on top of this. So one thing that we offer to our training is what we call a reattend. So we offer that once you become certified as a trainer, you can come back and reattend the training if you wish, and the intensive, and get all the updated materials for a minimal fee of, I think it's $175. I mean, it's just a minimal fee to help us to cover our costs. Okay. But this is a really great way. We have a lot of our trainers that will, make that commitment and say, you know what, I'm going to come back once a year. Number one, it's great for the community, right? It's just great to be there and be a part of the training again, but also to get the updated materials and any other improvements that we make. And again, a lot of those improvements come from you. That website that came from our community. The new modules, right, on empathy and compassion, diversity and inclusivity, that came from our community. The new training guide, that came. So I love this interaction that we have with our community, because they're always helping us become better, and in that way we can serve you better. So let's see, what other questions do we have here?
I have a comment I want to make about the direct to consumer program.
Mhm.
We do offer it live. This whole program is live. We don't have tons of recordings of anything unless you just want to go back and listen to it. But what we don't offer to the direct to consumer is a recording of this material. We don't give them the PowerPoints. It is really, it's your material to share, your license to use it, but we don't just put it out there so you become, you don't become important in terms of delivery, because it is all about you delivering the material. So we don't want a lot of recordings floating out there. So it's important to note that, because it's really all about you and your relationship with the people you're training.
Yeah, that's a really important point, Sarah. Thanks for bringing it up. So once you become certified, you actually sign a licensing agreement. So you're actually licensing the materials, and you can go out and train and use these materials. And, we have individuals that are in organizations using the materials. We have someone at NASA, we have someone at the Mayo Clinic, we have people at different organizations who are using the materials. And of course, the branding has to stay, but you're a certified training within that environment. And we actually, we can help you. So if you're already within an organization, or if you provide consulting services, because you would be a consultant, right? The first thing you would do would be deliver the training, but there's so much more beyond that. There's what we call quarterly reboots, where you would go in and get everybody excited about mindfulness again. There's an opportunity to lead daily or weekly mindfulness practices for the organization. You can provide content for the organization. You can help them. I've helped organizations build a mindfulness zone, right? For that, you can, there's just so much. Help them start a library. I've done that, of mindfulness books. So it's not just the training. There's so much more. You can really become an integral part of an organization, either within the organization or as an external consultant. So again, I have to stop talking. So Sarah, what are the other questions?
Well, there is this, we all are pioneers. If you're on this call, you're probably a pioneer, which means this has probably never been done in the organizations you've worked in. You've heard about various practices and programs out there, but you really are a pioneer, and we are too. And so we really want to support you in it. One of the newest titles in some companies is Chief Mindfulness Officer. And, sometimes it's just simply someone who's already just fallen in love personally with mindfulness and meditation within their own organization, who's willing to broaden their reach and be willing to sort of stick their neck out and say, hey, I'm going to be running these programs. We have that at Mayo Clinic and NASA, and then it turns into something bigger. And so for those of you who are working on a regular basis and want to bring it to work, it will help you feel more confident, because of so much research and attention we put on this training. Really and truly, we put hundreds and hundreds of hours into it. And like I said, when we first became meditation teachers, we tried to create programs like this, and it was just not so, let's put it this way, the market wasn't ready for us. And sometimes that will be the case, but we're here to support you. We've got amazing proposals, sales tools, marketing. Laurel's an amazing marketer, so she has got us working with sort of an intake form, the benefits analysis for a particular company or organization, and we even have those contracts that you can turn in and turnkey.
Yeah,
have them
sign the contract and get paid, which we love, right?
Yes,
that's what we like. And Kathy, did you have a question? Did I see your hand go up?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
First of all, I just want to say, oh my gosh, this gives me such hope for the workplace. I mean, seriously, and Sarah, as though I'm not already a fan of yours. I mean, just the mission here, it just, I truly, I didn't know what it was before I got in this call. I don't know about everybody else, but I really didn't know what it was about. And it is so incredible. And, you know, we own a company and we have 7 divisions in our company. And I just think just for our company to bring this mindfulness in a program that's organized and, you know, and then all their vendors, I mean, just the people, and these are people I love. You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't know if it's for me, but it might be for somebody in my company. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad you like it. I love it myself. And yes, we had to kind of get the woo-woo out of it, as you know, Kathy. I mean, we can be really connected spiritually and we can have our deep meditations, but that is not always going to fly in a company. And I love the way you mentioned vendors. That's something that Laurel always recommends, that we do some sort of exchange with their vendors if they want to gift it as a program to the vendors. And eventually it's like a ripple effect,
Right.
you know, and it's a good kind of contagion. It's
a good thing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you can look at like SAP is a model in Europe. So SAP is one of the largest IT consulting firms in the world. I think they have 180,000 employees. And one of their employees, you know, learned mindfulness and then was trained. And then he started, you know, offering it within the organization. And now he's now the director of mindfulness programs for SAP. You know, he has 5 trainers working for him. They've taught over 10,000 people at the organization. And I'm sure the numbers are much higher because I haven't seen him since before the pandemic. And then what they started doing was, and the smart, right? So a consulting firm, they started offering the training to all their vendors, right? All their strategic partners. So now it's not only the people in the organization, all their vendors, all their strategic partners, now they're learning mindfulness. They're getting the benefits. They started a profit center. They made enough money to pay to get more trainers. So that's just rolling. I know that Aetna is doing the exact same thing. So again, this is not just a training program. This is a worldwide movement. And we're at the very beginning of this movement. I told Sarah, it's like you're standing here and there will be, I said, I believe with all my heart that 10 years from now, this won't even be a question as to whether or not an organization has a program like this. It will be, you will have a program like this. And as Sarah said, we're the pioneers. We're the ones that are going out there and bringing these ideas to organizations. And it's only the start. I mean, it literally is only the start of this. There's so much that can be done.
And yes, we've taken a look at the many, many programs that are out there. We've taken a look at Google Search Inside Yourself. We've taken a look at the MBSR program. We've taken a look at many of, what is the other one? The Potential Project. We have taken a look at the curriculum of all of these programs, which is, they're great, but there's always a little something missing from each one. And I feel like we've really created a program that is comprehensive. And, you know, like I say, you could do one a month, focus on one, you know, week, 1 month of well-being and resilience, 1 month of creativity and innovation, just to really get it in the bones of the company. And I feel like as a trainer, and those of you who are newly learning how to do this, or even Karen who's gone through this program before, I think the more you go through it, the more it becomes part of your language and you become fluent in the benefits and the practices.
And one more thing I'd like to share is that, you know, another thing that we've done, Kathy, is, you know, when I started doing this 10 years ago, I started something called, you know, the Company and Community Initiative. So when someone would hire me to bring mindfulness training into their organization, I would also offer to provide free of charge additional training to a nonprofit of their choice. So then we would go out into the into the community. And I mean, I would teach like a 2-hour class or a 3-hour class for a nonprofit, but that was a win-win-win, right? Because then the company, you know, the company could promote that they were teaching a nonprofit. It's a win for you because your name's out there now, you know, and working with the company to get a press release out there and, you know, get some buzz that, look, here, you know, they're teaching mindfulness and they're helping this nonprofit. So again, it's only at the beginning.
It's amazing. So how much does the course cost?
Laurel?
Well, so
is it on your page? Sorry.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, well,
okay.
I'm not good at remembering them.
Yeah. So the course is, the course itself is $29.99. However, if you're
So
the
$3,000.
the early
That's not bad.
bird is $22.49, and the early bird ended yesterday. But if you're on this call, if you hear my voice, if you hear Sarah's voice, you can have that. So $22.49. And if you're a Meditation Teacher Academy trainer, there's an additional discount that Sarah can discuss with you when you apply. There is an additional discount, so that the investment is very reasonable.
Eminently.
For the outcome, and for the training that you receive, and for the impact that you're going to make, and I always say that, I believe that your soul's calling is the answer to someone else's prayer, and that there's someone out there right now praying for you to show up in their life, to support them and to serve them and to help them. And this is another tool in a way to serve others. And I feel that, this is, to me, it's your soul is tugging. There's a tug from your soul. There's something saying, hey, pay attention here. And if you're having that, I urge you to join us and to explore what that is.
I just think the whole thing is like so incredible, and that, we're at this ground, but we have to get to the CEOs, and we have to get to the CFOs, and we have to be in an environment that isn't just our mindful people. We have to permeate into shit, and this, I can just see this happening in a way that is acceptable in the workplace. So I applaud you. I mean, I'm not ready to sign up, but I'm sure as hell going to think about this. But Sarah, do we have to be, I'm not a certified meditation.
So that's a great question. So you don't have to be a certified trainer, but Kathy, I know your background has been, you've been leading meditation women's groups for a really long time. So you have to have that sense of either a leader, a presenter, a coach, a trainer. You have to have your own personal practice, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do have to have that commitment first.
Well, I'm coaching teens too.
That's right.
Yeah, so, I'm doing it, but and wouldn't that be a great thing to get teens involved in? When they're going on, because everybody shouldn't have to go to college.
I agree.
What a great thing. Let's send mindfulness people out there. Sorry,
I'm with you, an army of mindfulness. Karen, I know has to leave, but let me have her. Your hand is up. You've got to leave. And
I just wanted to say goodbye. I didn't want to just sign off. And having done the training and finished the training in April of last year, I'm about to launch doing this. And I just wanted to tell you guys, I didn't think I was ready. I had a call with Laurel before the training. I was like, I'm not ready. I just graduated in December from the meditation training, December of 21. And it was January, and I'm on the phone with Laurel. I'm like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to start this business. And she's like, you're ready. And I'm so glad I did it, because now I'm ready to go forward with it. And if I'd had to do the training now, you get so much value for the money. I feel like I'm a paid pitch person, and I'm not, but you just get so much for it. I mean, she sends it out in a download or in a thumb drive, and you just get a ton of stuff. And it's just wonderful. So I just want to say hi to Laurel and Sarah, and thank you, and hi to you all. And
thank you.
I have to go, but it's so good to see all of you.
Good to see you, Karen. I can't wait to hear what you're up to. Send me an email or call me.
Okay, I will. I'll set something on Calendly with you.
Yeah, beautiful. Nice to see you, Casey. Wonderful to see you.
Good to see you. Bye.
And I make that offer to everyone. If you would like to talk with me, I'm available. My email is laurel.geise, so laurel.geise@gmail.com, or you can call me 727-501-6675. And I'm on the East Coast. I'm in Florida. So if you feel you'd like to chat about it, if you're not quite sure, I'm available to talk to you. We begin next Wednesday, so we have a week And again, it's February 9th, right? Team 9, February 9th. I love it. So are there any other questions that we can answer? I know just to be mindful of the time that we need to wrap up, but we'd love to answer any final questions. And of course, inviting you to join us, or if there's someone you know who might want to join us, we would be grateful for that referral. This is a
Great.
very special community, and we'd love to have you be a part of it.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here, and we'll hopefully see you soon. Hopefully you'll be at one of the classes, whether you're taking it as a consumer, just out of interest, or wanting to be a trainer. So see you soon. Thanks for your time. Thanks, Laurel, for
Thank you.
being part of this. Good to see you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Nice to meet you. Bye.